The process of rehabilitating our country's wounded veterans has been strengthened over the years by competitive sports like the Paralympic Games. Here in St. Louis, a dedicated recreational therapist is helping veterans through a game that traces its origins to the Roman Empire. Kara Vaninger saw firsthand how it's done.
When most people are confronted with the idea of therapy, a good time doesn't exactly spring to mind. And that's exactly what Charlie Wright and the other staff in the VA Spinal Cord Injury Center are counting on. As recreational therapists, they tap into the veterans' innate desire for camaraderie and excellence in everything they do, using good times to heal.
We're at the end of the continuum of care when they come in for rehab. They have their traumatic injury, they do the meds, they do PT, OT, speech, whatever that might be. Rec therapy is then introduced. They go, what is rec therapy? Well, we're there to teach you how to live again. The sport Boccia came to us about 4.5 years ago through the VA at our National Veterans Wheelchair Games. Our guys really enjoyed it.
Boccia ball is a version of bocce, a game of strategy and accuracy that traces its roots all the way back to ancient Rome. Here's the short version. A white ball, called the jack, is tossed out first. Individuals or teams then take turns tossing, throwing, or rolling their boccia balls, trying to get as close to the jack as possible. Points are awarded at the end of the round for each ball that is the closest to the jack.
We decided that boccia was going to be something we really put our arms around. And our vets told us that they wanted that. So we actually brought in the first USA VA boccia clinic to veterans. So we invited the national director of the National Wheelchair Games of the VA, which is a 650 athlete competition for a week. It's one of the largest wheelchair sporting events in the world. We also invited the Paralyzed Veterans of America. We also included USA Boccia, which is the governing body of Boccia. We brought all those leaderships and then we invited veterans from 5 different states. Fast forward to today, we now have 20 players locally on our national team, and we have 4 of our players right now recognized on the USA team, and hopes to maybe make that Paralympic venue in Japan.
Charlie's experience as a high-level swimming coach helped him to bring an edge to the veterans game.
I swam at Western Kentucky, so I did Division I swimming, coached USA swimming. I had a swim team of 200 plus swimmers from 5 years old to Olympic trial qualifiers. So I'd done the competitive piece to it, and to be able to bring that world to our vets in an inpatient setting and an outpatient setting is really new to probably 99% of them. But a lot of our guys are very competitive still. You know, they were very active before their traumatic injury, and a lot of them want to continue to be active. But sometimes you have to find that niche that they feel comfortable doing. And then our job is to show the adaptation of that.
When we started, I told Charlie that this wasn't my kind of game. I played baseball and football, and I played quad rugby when I was first injured. So I was used to more of a physical banging in the action game. But once I started rolling the ball, it became a lot of fun.
I'm a competitor. I love to compete. In fact, you're in a wheelchair, that should limit you.
By refusing to limit himself, great things have happened for Leroy, including the night he met his wife, Barbara.
I met her at a singles dance. She had been looking at me from across the room, but I didn't know it because I was bopping to the music. And she comes up to me and she goes, I've never danced with somebody in a wheelchair before. Would you dance with me? I said, sure. And we danced.
The couple has since traveled to 9 different National Paralyzed Veterans Wheelchair Games.
I was a national champion last year in bocce ball, but the competition is so stiff this year that I didn't make it, but I still had fun, which is the bottom line.
Oh, it was a blast. you get the adrenaline flowing and get to throw. It was wonderful, especially when you play for medal.
And Doug Barnes should know. He won 2 silver medals at nationals this year.
But we got the best job in the world. But as a rec therapist, I'm looking at the therapy side is setting goals and having them achieve that. And we mask it with play sometimes, and they don't realize it's therapy. They just realize they're enjoying it. But what we're looking at is range of motion, to accepting to be in a chair, working out in the public, being social. What's it like if I have to use a restroom? I'm a new injury. That's scary. In the VA, you have all the nurses, you have us. We're familiar with it. We don't really look at the chair, we're looking at the person. Well, it's a little different when you go out in the community. So our job is not to just always do this on the VA campus. Our job is to bring our vets outside in the community. That's where you're living life. On a monthly basis, throughout the year, we host a local tournament, such as this one today. American Legion, the post here has been wonderful. They've opened up the doors, allowed us to tape their floors and keep the tape on the floor, which is great. We don't have to retape every time. They provide the food and the camaraderie. It's just a great marriage. We have this great opportunity to mix, a veteran with a civilian and make that connection. And if they're struggling with something, we're there to help them get through that. Usually it's hard in the beginning because when you have a spinal cord injury, it's typically, I'm gonna walk out of here. Well, that might not be the case.
To help with this difficult transition, peer mentors play alongside veterans who are still adjusting to their new way of life.
We have guys that have been in a chair for years and now playing competitively on a national, international level. Well, they're here with guys that are going through that first few months in a chair. They get to see, hey, I can do this.
Anybody can play it. It's something that anybody can do. So it's kind of freeing. It makes everybody equal. And that's why I like it so much.
The program that Charlie's put together here is just phenomenal. It just brings us all together.
Oh, ho, ho.